The Complete Peanuts, 1979 to 1980. Literally all the comic strips published from the 1st of January 1979 to the 31st of December 1980. Particularly exciting because between one of those dates is a comic strip on my actual birthday, which is pretty cool. Now, my exposure to Peanuts thus far has been somewhat sporadic. Growing up, I had the duvet set of I Hate People Who Sing in the Morning, and we've always had this fantastic mirror. Here's the World War I flying ace zooming through the air on his Sopwith camel. Why it needs to be a mirror, I don't know, but that's cool. I saw the occasional comic strip in a newspaper, and I think I've seen a handful of the animated cartoons, but I was never really introduced to it properly. And the other day we sat and watched the new Peanuts movie. It came out a couple of years ago or so. And I found it really charming and really enjoyed it. And we just happened to have 2 volumes of some of the collections. We got 79 to 80, and I believe the next one's 80 to 81. So I thought, why not give them a go? And I say, as an outsider coming into this, even having seen the film, I'm not entirely sure on the dynamics between all the characters. It'd be great if there was a list of who's who, who's the sister or brother to whom, because it's not always clear, and some of the minor characters only have 1 or 2 appearances, even in this large volume. And my main takeaway from this was just how much this clearly inspired Bill Watterson to create Calvin and Hobbes. You know, they're similarly aged kids, with the majority of the time either at school, doing homework, playing sports, or just chilling. That could apply to either of the 2 comic strips. And I'd say that I preferred Calvin and Hobbes to this. I did enjoy it, but I found maybe the fact that we had so many characters that I wasn't familiar with, so many dynamics that I was still getting to grips with, whereas with Calvin and Hobbes it was just Calvin and his tiger and the various zany adventures they went on. Whereas this, there weren't that many zany adventures apart from with Snoopy, who would be either battling the Red Baron on his plane or taking Woodstock and the other birds, the Beagle Brigade, out on some various scout-like camping adventures. You know, comic strips don't normally have main storylines, but the 2 main ones in here are Charlie Brown checking himself into hospital. He doesn't feel well, he goes to hospital, and he actually ends up staying there for quite some time. It's never made clear exactly what it is he's got in for. And then there's another one where Charlie Brown gets lost in the woods. And although, like I said, there aren't that many storylines in here, I was really impressed with the continuity. There'll be a gag early on in the book, and then quite a few pages later, that situation, that exchange, or whatever it was, is referenced again, and we have a continuation of that particular thing going forward. Because with many comic strips, it's a one-off thing, they do the thing, they then move on, and that's it. And the other thing I really took away from this was just how, and the film itself, was just how much my life is a reflection of Charlie Brown's. If it can go wrong, it goes wrong. If there's a misunderstanding or I do a thing, then it's going to be taken completely wrong or not even noticed because it's drowned out by something else that happens at the same time. So I really did resonate with Charlie Brown an awful lot. Many of the gags I found reasonably entertaining. Some did indeed maybe chuckle, but an awful lot of them, I'm not sure if the humour was just lost on me or I didn't understand them. But my favourite characters are definitely Snoopy and Woodstock, Woodstock being the pinnacle. However, my favourite running gags are generally Peppermint Patty at school getting D-minuses. She tries so hard, or rather, she thinks some effort has been made, potentially, as long as she's awake for it. But it's certainly an education. And indeed, I learnt that Charlie Brown's father owns a barber's, which seems to be ironic seeing that Charlie Brown seems to suffer from alopecia. But on the whole, charming, good, clean fun. But I can't help that this is more of a building block to things that came later, like Calvin and Hobbes and Liberty Meadows, that maybe pushed the envelope a little bit further in certain degrees, making this almost tame by comparison. Definitely worth buying. Really looking forward to reading 81 to 82. That's The Complete Peanuts, 79 to 80. So have you read much Peanuts? Who's your favourite character? What's your favourite medium that it comes in? Or which character do you resonate with the most? Comment down below, please. But as usual, if you have nothing nice to say, then please keep it to yourself. Thank you. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and other YouTube things if you want. And until next time, see you later.